As an aspiring Renaissance person, I think it's important to be mentally, physically, intellectually, spiritually, and financially strong. And one of the ways that I accomplished my goals, or started to accomplish some of them at least, for finances, was reading the book by David Bach, Automatic Millionaire. It's a very easy to read, very easy to understand book that was made for people who really needed a way of saving money without having to think about it or without worrying about it. This particular edition is the homeowner's edition, and that's one of the only goals I think in the book that I haven't followed yet, in that I don't have my own property. I'm currently renting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My rent went up 30% this year. So God only knows how much it's going to go up next year. And with the affordable housing crisis, it's definitely a good time to start looking actively for a home. I was previously, but then my mom ended up getting sick and I kind of put it off, and then the pandemic started and everything. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've definitely followed the instructions in this book. And basically it comes down to the idea of set it and forget it. So that's the automatic part of the Automatic Millionaire. And the way the author, David Bach, suggests doing that is by doing things like automatic debits through your bank account for things like your pension or your 401k if you pay into that, for paying off your debts, for donating to charity, for making mortgage interest and mortgage payments. It's a great idea, and he's absolutely right. You don't see the money because it doesn't go into your account, or it does and it automatically just gets debited out into a different account. The money's still there, it's just something you don't see, you don't miss. And if you aren't living paycheck to paycheck, it's a great way of automating and simplifying the process of retirement and savings in general. Everyone needs to have a little safety net for emergencies. I remember in my video on debt, I discussed this topic in great length, and most Americans are indebted, and it just seems to be getting worse post-pandemic. A lot of that has to do with the fact that prices are just incredibly expensive for many items, including just going to the grocery store. So anything we can do to help ourselves in the long run is a great idea. And especially in America, because we don't have the same guaranteed pensions and healthcare and other things that a lot of other industrialized nations have. So that means we're probably going to be working longer. Well, we're already working longer. We work more per week than most other countries' citizens do. But I also mean that we're going to be working longer into our senior years. So it's important that we can do as much as we possibly can to start saving, especially if you are young. The power of accrual, through the magic of compounding interest, you are able to save longer and get better returns the earlier you start saving. So especially for centennials and also some millennials and Gen X out there who haven't been able to save as much as they've wanted to, doing compounded interest and automatically making payments is a great idea. I highly recommend it, and it's something that I think all of us need to think about. Talking about retirement, I had a friend who died 2 years ago, and he was a banker, vice president, and he also was the compliance officer at his bank. And he wanted to, for years, retire early, but he was afraid to. He figured that, especially in America, the health insurance costs would be so exorbitant that he wouldn't be able to go and cover the difference. And if a VP banker has those concerns, what does that say about the rest of us? Yet another reason why we need universal health care in America, but that's a topic for another day. We all need to go and save. We all need to look at what we purchase and cut out those things that are really junk. I'm going to be doing a video on are we producing too much of junk, so I highly recommend that as well, as it's related to this topic. But yeah, doing things like automatic payments from your debit accounts to your interest-bearing accounts or instruments are a great idea to start saving. And I think, again, because America doesn't really have a viable safety net, and you've heard the stories probably of senior citizens, starving, eating cat food, which I don't really understand because cat food is pretty expensive. Just ask my sister who has 4 of them. It's more important than ever to save. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, please subscribe. Take care.